I can't hear you. Okay, well.
But due to copyrights, we can't go there.
Oh, hello. I'm a dragon.
I thought you were cute.
I'm both.
She's a cute dragon. I'm not even sure if I'm even in the shot, so I'm going to be in the shot now.
You were already in the shot.
I was? Alright, well, yeah, it's here. We're going to let her talk about her comic books, and I'm going to talk, then I'm going to let this one talk about her comic books, then I'm going to talk again, then I'm going to do my comic books after I rant a little bit. So you want to talk about your comic books?
Yes, I would like
You know which one I'm holding up first?
Lumberjanes.
Lumberjanes.
Lumberjanes was a good issue today.
I don't read this.
I do.
She reads it.
It is a good one. It's from Boombox. Yeah, and
I figure it's about lumberjacks named Jane.
No, it's
about Lumberjanes.
Does she chop down trees?
You know, lumberjacks have different names.
Yeah.
Just like normal people, they're
Yeah.
Lumberjanes. They're just girls who are lumberjacks.
Do they chop down trees?
They might.
They might.
Do they eat their lunch?
Yes.
Yes.
Do they go to the lavatory?
Yes.
Yes.
And on Wednesdays, do they go shopping and have
No,
butterscotch?
because they're at camp.
They don't have butterscotch for tea?
No,
That's
they
so sad.
fight monsters.
But they do always dress as women. So.
Yes.
Just like their dear
Well, they might have butterscotch for tea. They did have tea once. So in this one, you learn a bunch of stuff about this one character.
You learn
that
stuff
only
about
met,
characters in the book. Okay, that's
that
good.
you only met like 2 issues ago, and it's
And-
good.
and-
And it's really, I like it.
That's
a lot.
Lumberjanes.
Lumberjanes is good. I like it a lot.
Okay, which one you want to do next?
That one's last.
That one, I know that one's last. I do this one next.
Okay.
Hey, guess who?
Doctor.
Look, it's another Doctor Who. It's another #1.
Yeah. That's probably
So
why.
now you have
that's
3.
probably why I was like, this doesn't make any sense with other ones.
Now you have
I
3
didn't realize
Doctor
that
Who's you're
was-
following at one time.
That's difficult.
No pun intended.
It's difficult. I'm gonna get so confused. Cause, yeah.
Is it too timey-wimey for you?
There's too many timelines that they're making me read at once. But yeah, they're good.
Overall,
It's good.
how was Doctor Who?
It was good because it's Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. I have no idea where the camera is.
I don't know where the camera is.
Because we're not filming with the mirror behind anymore, so we don't know what we're filming.
You're good. Just tie my hair.
Okay, I guess we're going to do this one. This one. I read #1 of this one. I haven't read #2 yet, but you read it.
Wild's End. In the last one, people died. So if you didn't read that, well then, it sucks for you.
It sucks to be you.
Sucks for you
It
because I just
really
told
does.
you people die.
A spoiler of something that's already come out, so it sucks to be you.
If you haven't read it yet, obviously. And then there's like a burning house, and there's a bunch of stuff that happens, and there's a gun and like a new character. Yeah.
What was that last thing? Was that
That was not part of the thing. That was
just-
literally
just-
just an ad of the. He
looks
wanted to
cute.
know what this was, but it's literally just a sloth.
Sloths are cool.
It's coming to kill you in October, though.
No.
That's what it says.
So that okay. And
That's
this one, I read #1. I loved it, and I want to hold this one
No, you're
nicely
holding it different.
because this book is
Sideways.
special.
It's sideways.
The storyteller.
It's one of the Jim
Covers.
Henson. Jim Henson's a
I'm gonna
storyteller.
show
It's
a page
pretty.
That I think is pretty.
I think every page in
No,
there is
because
nice.
that's the spoiler. I don't want to.
Okay, no spoilers.
Spoiler ones. I want to show like.
Wolverine dies this week. Sort of.
Look at that. It's like a poster almost.
Bring it closer. Ah, yes.
Yes. All of the pretty. It's great. It's really pretty. I really like these. They're like so fancy. They're so fancy.
This is one of those books I do recommend for everybody. Like seriously, you got to be buying the Jim Henson stuff.
If the next one comes out in a while, I think it's called Phantom Isle for the next.
You
issue.
don't have to be a comic book guy. I mean, if you have kids, you want to buy it. If you plan on having kids, you want to buy it. If you've ever watched any Jim Henson stuff, you want to buy this. If you have old people you want to read to, like your parents are really old and dying, read them a nice story.
If
So
you like art, then
buy this book.
because it's pretty.
Okay. And you guys know, on this show, we have no sponsorship, so we're not paid to say any of this. We tell you what we feel. What we find is the honest truth. And we're telling
Genuine.
you, ready?
Improv.
1, 2, 3, buy this book.
I knew what we were going to say.
I know. It's really simple, okay? So that's it for the cute one for now. She's going to stick around and maybe go back to dragon mode.
I might
And we're going to
go.
talk about the Mad Montreal Girls books.
Okay.
Not so mad these days.
I know.
Mostly
You're
just
more
confusion.
tired.
She's also not so concussed. She's more like the I'm sleepy, tired,
I
I'm
think
bored
that's
book.
all of us,
I don't
though.
remember stuff.
We're more of the,
Okay,
like,
that's your sister. She's cute.
we're
I'm your
tired
father.
Not so
I'm
cute.
mad.
and tired.
Definitely not cute. Really not cute. So which one you want to talk about
That's
first?
you.
Let's talk about this one first. Or you want to do the one that we missed last week?
Let's just do whichever one.
Okay, we're gonna do the one she probably remembers. Deadly Class.
Deadly Class. Backstory time. This issue. Some backstory.
Back
good.
cover? No, backstory.
No, the story is some backstory on the main character. He's still split between who he really loves. Is it Maria? Is it the other girl? Sorting his feelings out. Maria's still jealous.
Oh, look, it's
as heck.
green.
It's flashback green right there.
Flashback.
In other words, Deadly Class is one we recommend.
Good.
Okay, let's should we mess our brain up? Let's go with this one. Hey, it's The Veil.
Honestly, even though I don't remember a single thing about the previous issues, it's still a good issue.
Blanking.
I liked it. I
blanking.
enjoyed it, even though I had no idea who anybody was
Okay,
or what they were
well,
really talking about.
This is a series I've been reading too as well. I didn't read this week's one because, as you guys know, the books, it was a holiday in Canada this week, so the books came in late to the store tonight. But I enjoyed the last couple issues. I'm looking for this one. I took a sneak peek at the artwork. This is that kind of like, it's actually good art. It's got a bit of a different style to it, so it's nice. So I do recommend it, even though she can't remember what it's about. I do.
Something about a succubus and chains. I don't
Cool,
know, man.
man. She's
It's good, but I'm
She's got the big guys. And
partially confused.
Okay, this one I hope she remembers, because she she used to love this book when it first came out. She's read it 3 times, and
All I see
she's
is
looking
the back.
away.
All I see is the back.
I forgot.
Okay, she
I
forgot.
read this issue and I don't know what it's
See,
about.
that's the problem with Concussion Girl. And in some ways, you know what? I think we can be jealous of her because every time she reads a book, it's brand new. I can pull out comic books from 20 years ago. She goes, "Oh my god, this is so good!"
But
And-
then you're just like, I've read this
And then
already.
the following week, she'll be like, "This is so good." But yeah, last broadcast, it's one of those stories that's been building. It's getting better and better. The artwork, it's got that kind of manga-esque style, if you will.
I don't think that's right.
Well,
That's
what do you
like
call it?
manga.
That's not manga.
That's like
That's
you
a
have.
different manga.
You need glasses.
Well, it's not BD European
does
style.
need
It's not
glasses.
standard.
It's its
Okay,
own little
Everyone
style.
in this house needs
It's got
glasses
kind
to
of
read.
like, I'll call this East Coast cartoon kind of graffiti stuff. How's that?
Animation.
But a lot of broadcasts. It is a good series. It's getting better. Now this next one, we missed it last week. I actually wanted this for me last week. I missed it. It happens. This is not a coffee table sin. We don't do that anymore. But it's called Witches from Image.
With a W. And
It's a
Y.
really cool
Bring it
cover.
closer.
Hey,
Hey, I read it.
Okay, she's gonna talk about it. Here's some artwork.
It's really good. It revolves around. Well, the beginning is a little confusing because you're not really sure what's going on. Something about being chosen for something.
Ooh, that's a cool
And-
page. Look at that page. That's cool.
Yeah, and it revolves around this redheaded girl named Sailor. And
One warning. I forgot. I made my mistake. I forgot to warn people. Back cover is black. I forgot about that. I've already put fingerprints.
I probably put
Curse.
fingerprints. Also.
Actually, that's not my hand. That's
my
her.
hand.
It wasn't me.
Um,
That's the one problem with covers with black back covers. The fingerprints. That's there forever.
That's
It's
why.
no longer me. It's only like 9.8 grade now or whatever.
It's good. It's good. There's like some magic stuff they talk about. At one point, a deer bites off its own tongue. A little fucked up. Oh, am I not supposed to swear?
Does it really
No one
matter?
watches this show anyways. Who cares?
Okay. Well, it's good.
Sorry, Shane. We know you watch it. Hi, Martina.
I'm interested
Nick.
to see where it goes because it's a little confusing right now, just to me. Yeah.
Everything's confusing her.
Shut up.
But it's
And my
okay.
face hurts, but that's okay.
If you're wondering why I'm wearing this old style hat, well, 2 reasons. I normally do wear hats. The other day I was at a liquor store and the guy saw me wearing my regular black one, and he gave me this as a gift. I can't show you what company it's from, but it's an old man style fedora. I liked it. But I decided to put this on today because as I was waiting at the comic book store, because like I said, it was a holiday this week. There's a whole bunch of guys, us junkies. We're waiting at the comic book store for our fix of comic books. And there's a couple of guys talking, some regulars. Hey, Norm, how are you? Kelly was there. Aaron was there, of course. Aaron was working really hard tonight, so hats off to him for trying to get the stuff out and being very polite and everything else. But we were talking to this one guy we were talking about, like, for example, he was talking about how he started reading the DC stuff with the New 52 stuff. And even he, as a New 52 reader, is disappointed because he's finding that the stuff he started liking, they've already canceled. And he's asking, well, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And, I kind of made a comment about the DC, how I'm still a junkie, I buy this stuff, but I'm not happy with it. Because there's no continuity. And even the New 52, it seems like DC doesn't have any continuity. I mean, it's kind of like, you buy Superman titles, there's a bit of continuity, but if you buy Justice League, it doesn't tie in. Then we start talking about Marvel, and the same thing. Marvel, it's like, he goes, I stopped reading Marvel ages ago because he got tired of all the crossovers. So then we start talking about the marketing of Marvel, how it's like, they're going to do a series, cancel it, and bring it back. It kind of made me feel nostalgic for the old days.
Bring back Runaways.
But then again, we also start talking about like Image and Dark Horse, how these two companies and a few other independent companies are doing stuff that you can actually buy a series and enjoy because the artwork's good, the story's good, and they're not going to mess with you but marketing tricks. But as we were talking and other people were getting involved, this guy started looking at the old Frank Miller Bendis Daredevils. And it made me think, this is back when comic books were actually well written and they were planned out. And I got a bit nostalgic for when I was a kid. Because, we know that studies have shown that most people buy comic books are adults, 18 to like 45 and up.
I'm not an adult.
You're just a midget adult. Okay.
Wow.
And we also know that more women buy comic books, which is true. That's good to see. But then I started thinking about, what about the kids buying comic books? When I was a kid buying comic books, you bought the comic books and hey, a year from now it's going to be the same characters I'm going to read. You had that thing of, as I buy more comic books, I'm not having to juggle storylines everywhere. It's like I'm actually just buying into the bigger picture of the whole world of comic books. And I just started thinking about kids nowadays. I'm thinking, what are kids going to be like? I know DC thinks that people only buy one or two comic books now, and Marvel has that thing where they're going to do the marketing, so they'll get people hooked on for a series for a while, cancel it, reboot it. But what about these kids as they get older? I think of the cute one here and the mad one. They used to read one or two comic books each. Now they're both reading like 3-4 titles a week. What's going to happen to them if they get into the mainstream stuff? They're going to find themselves getting bored and disappointed because both DC and Marvel, I think we've both seen it, all three of us have seen it, both DC and Marvel have gotten to this point where they don't really continue anything. It's like, okay, we'll do it for a while, it's not working, cancel it.
Runaways. I'm still upset about that.
I don't know what happened to the Oz series, but I haven't
exactly.
seen it for like
it's
2
like
months.
they put out stuff, they get people liking it, and then they stop it. Mad Montreal Girl has never stopped talking about Runaways.
Holy shit.
Runaways is like our favorite thing. And we all know it. And
But that's an example. Here's and when they they brought the characters back in the Avengers Academy, not the same. And I just keep on thinking, you know what? Maybe I think DC and Marvel should think about going back to the old way of doing it, where you don't have to have new number ones, you don't have to have marketing given, just put out good quality books and let the books speak for themselves. To this day, I can still pick up a comic book from 15 years ago, read it, and go, wow, this was good, I want to read more. A lot of times you pick up the books from nowadays, you read it because it's forced a habit, where you're thinking, okay, it's going to get better, it's going to get better. So as I do my review tonight, I'm going to talk about each company individually on its own and tell you the pros and cons of what I feel the company is. But for now, I am going to take the hat off because this is really not I'm not into the Don Cherry pattern. And I thank the guy for the hat.
Hats off to you.
So, Rick at the liquor store, thank you for the hat. I will wear it occasionally, but not tonight on the show. So we're going to start with Marvel first. And before I actually review the books from Marvel, I will say my biggest problem with Marvel, apart from sometimes the art's look scratchy, is their marketing. They're not consistent. They put a book out, they get people enjoying it, and they cancel it. The Avengers stuff, anyone who's reading Avengers is confused. You got different Avengers books, and there's like, this is 8 months from now, this is... Okay, really? How many of these varying futures are you going to have going at once? If I want to read what-if stories, call it What If. Same thing for the Spider-Man stuff, the Spider-Verse one. I think back of kids were like, there's one Spider-Man! One!
There's still,
No, there's so many, and Marvel's gotten this thing, well, we're going to do the multi-years, Earth 616, it's just to a point where, it's fine for us, people who've been around it for a while, but anyone getting into comic books now, it's not going to be as easy for them. They're not going to be as motivated as I was when I was younger to go buy back issues, to learn about the characters. They'll be like, okay, whatever, it's going to cancel in the year anyway. It's kind of like, it's like, instead of doing a novel, here's a short story, if you don't like it, who cares, another story afterwards. So we're going to start off with the Spider-Man. Same thing, the Spider-Universe, the Spider-Verse. Okay, on its own, this wasn't a bad read. I enjoy the character. It's a girl character this time. The artwork actually wasn't bad. Had that slight European with a bit of a Japanese mix, which I do like. And if it was called anything else, it would have been a good read. But because it's this parallel universe of all these Spider-Mans, it's all coming together, it wears on you a little bit. Maybe I'm just in a negative mood. I don't know, but I kind of miss that more linear type stories. Here's a story. I'm picking up this Spider-Man. If Spider-Man shows up in this comic book, it's going to make sense. Not like, oh, here's Spider-Man, and, well, hold on. That's 6 months from now, but he's still there, but in this issue, he's not. And that's exactly why I'm talking about that, because Spider-Man 2099. This issue jumps all over the place between Earth 616, this other Earth, this other Earth. I got bored real fast reading this one. This one I didn't get really bored with. It was kind of predictable, but Thanos, the artwork was kind of just okay. I mean, it's, you know, didn't last year the Avengers have Thanos locked in a kind of like amber cube and he's free and walking around again? Wasn't he in the Cancerverse? Okay, they explained the Cancerverse part, but they haven't explained how he got out of the box. And the artwork was just kind of so-so.
Does Amber break down after a while?
No. And this one, the annual Original Sin. You look at the cover, go, really cool cover. You look at the inside, the artwork was kind of blech. And really, this story really had nothing to do with anything else. It was like, okay, we'll put an annual out for the sake of putting an annual out. Now this one, the artwork was good. I enjoyed the artwork. I've kind of seen the storyline before. They're both trying to crack me up. It's not going to work because I am tired. You know, the Hulk. Okay? The artwork was good. This is what I mean by putting good artwork in a book with a good story. I mean, you can read this and not read any other Hulk. Okay, you got the Hulk storyline. And the good thing about this is you don't really see the Hulk in too many other books because they don't really use him as much. But the Hulk I will recommend from Marvel this week. Alright, Fantastic Four. It was okay. I mean, the artwork's better than some other Marvel books. The storyline, not so fantastic. Yes, Babishka behind the camera.
What?
Okay.
Look at yourself in the mirror.
Loki. Cover is okay. The artwork inside was okay. The story was just okay. Okay, now I'm going to get into the ones. I'm just going to pound through these real quick. It's the Marvel Avengers stuff. You got the Axis storyline. Kind of all over the place. Not too crazy about it. You got the A-World. Those of you guys remember back a while ago, there was an animated cartoon for the Avengers where the Avengers kids were from the future? Well, guess what? They're from the cartoon, they're in the real books, and they're staying. Was that a spoiler? I'm sorry, but...
I was going to say something, but then I had juice in my mouth.
That's good.
I can't
You know,
remember what
the only thing that saves this book is the quality of the artwork. The storytelling... Speaking of storytelling all over the place, the new Avengers. In 7 months, time runs out. Okay, and what parallel universe is this going to be? Because in some of the other Avengers books, they've already concluded stuff. So it's kind of like, hello. Okay, the next one, I'm going to bring up a point about, you know, there's 2 comic books left for Marvel. Of course, one's going to be The Death of Wolverine, which has the best cover for Marvel this week. But it brings up a point about marketing. Okay, so here it is. Here's The Death of Wolverine, the best cover for Marvel this week. The inside artwork was nice. It's good artwork on the inside. His actual death, should I be a spoiler?
If you want.
Okay. They don't actually say he's dead. They show something at the end. But this is Marvel. No one stays dead at Marvel. They really don't. Case in point. Are you ready for this? Okay, this one's full of spoilers. You don't want to hear this, don't watch it. The Logan Legacy. There's a whole bunch of characters in here that are supposed to be dead, but somehow they're not. Here's a big spoiler. There's one character in here, okay, it might not be the real him, but Charles Xavier is back, he's alive, and he's standing up. Daken's back. Isn't he supposed to be dead?
I think so.
Continuity, people don't stay dead at Marvel. The Logan thing is a marketing ploy, because they want people to buy this series. I hate to say it, you know, that's the problem with Marvel. It's all marketing with them. They don't always think about the long-term effects. People will get tired of it. That is the problem with Marvel. It's like they're not thinking about long-term. People will get bored of this. I got bored of the X-Men because at the time they're doing nothing but crossovers and new X books left and right. There's only so much you can take. Oh, there's X. Well, Marvel, what they're doing now with all these Marvel points and now is getting to the point where, okay, they're going to kill a character, push them books for a year, cancel it, shove it back out. One of the guys at the comic store, hey Norm, he was asking me why I stopped buying the Elektra series. And I went to him, it's not because the art's not good, the story's not good, it's because I know I'm going to be let down because Marvel has never let Elektra run a proper course. They will cancel the book. And I'm already hearing people talking about, yeah, it's going to get canceled soon. That's why you kind of get bored. On the other hand, you got the other company, DC. Discontinued continuity. That's what we should call it from now on. Hello, DC Comics. Discontinued continuity is DC Comics.
Some aloe vera for that burn.
It's not really burn. It's more like the harsh fire of reality. That's what they do. They don't really care about continuity. They care more about we're trying to get market shares. It's not working. Do something else. Cancel it. They don't give books a chance. But we'll get into that as we get to the books. Supergirl. This is what I mean. This is an aftermath of the Doom storyline. Shouldn't this been out like 2 months ago when the other aftermaths came out? It was Red Hood. Red Hood's costume is different every time he shows up, apparently. Okay, the Godhead, Green Lanterns, Act 1, Part 4. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great.
Heck.
And you want to talk about predictable? This is how they're trying to do it's going to be the end of stuff. The future's end. It's Brainiacs. It kind of sounds like Age of Ultron. I mean, yeah, it's cool to see some different takes on the superheroes from different worlds. But not to sound me, if you're a new reader, you're going to get confused by it. Now, Earth 2, on the other hand, yeah, the world's end. Yes, you're taking Earth 2 and doing the same thing there. The thing about this book that I liked when it came out was a different take on this stuff. But it's also starting to have the same problem as other books. You're getting to the point where it's like, okay, really? Alright, fine, I'm losing interest. And that's not a good thing when someone like me, who's a junkie of comic books, loses interest. Let's get to the bat stuff, right? Batman Eternal, Turning Point. Turning Point. Well, okay, this basically is trying to set up their next series, because once again, Marvel's getting desperate, DC, is getting desperate. They're trying to do some marketing. So here, I'm sure you've seen the promo ads for this. Oh yes, coming soon, Catwoman's going to be the new crime boss of Gotham.
The show?
No. All Hail the Queen. I mean, yeah, that artwork looks really good. I must admit, that artwork looks great. It's the same artwork from the Superman Batman stuff, the crossover. However, the storyline, I was like, yes, the insert topic one is snoring.
No, that was my dog.
That was the dog?
He went, "Rrrr."
I thought that was her snoring.
No, that was the dog.
That's just,
he commented on it for you.
Yeah, well, it's late at night, as you can tell. And we're in Vancouver, it's late at night. For Shane, it's early Thursday morning when you're watching this. People back home, it's
time to drop
really
his
early.
juice box.
And once again, I remind you, you pay nothing for this show. It's unscripted. It's honest. That's
Don't
it.
do what I mean.
All right, and the Batwoman. Okay, fun thing about this issue, Ragman. Spoiler, Batwoman's in space.
Why?
Yeah.
How?
Okay, here's another one. Another number one from DC. Ooh, number ones. Oh, look, it's the Phantom Stranger, The Question, and Pandora. And you think, okay, not a bad combination. I mean, I can see, The Question and the Phantom Stranger, they both wear the cool hats. This story was so lame. I mean, The Question can't even peel his face off. Oh.
Why not?
Because it's the new 52. Lame. Disappointing. Oh, speaking of disappointing, Red Hood and the Outlaws. Continuity? I don't think it exists anymore. Cover's not even that good either.
Did it ever exist?
Well, yeah. After the Crisis and before New 52, it was actually pretty good. Alright, as for the other ones for DC this week, I did buy the horror covers, just for the heck of it, because they were kind of fun. Justice League. The other cover was pretty cool, too. The Flash. But I bought the horror ones. I figured I might as well keep going. Story in here, not bad. At least this is being consistent. But if you read Justice League and you read the other titles, like Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, they don't correlate. The stuff that's going on in here with Batman does not happen in the Batman series. Once again, DC's not just thinking small. They're thinking, oh, people are going to buy Justice League. They're not going to buy the other stuff. It's actually the way around. It's people buy Justice League because they like these other heroes. They want them in a group. Artwork wasn't bad. Stories, at least it's consistent. Okay, Batman, Superman. Ta-da! I bought the werewolf cover. It was just fun. This is that artwork I was telling you about. It's really nice artwork. It's the same person who's doing that Catwoman series. Oh, no, not this issue. This issue wasn't. This issue was that fill-in artist. It was bad.
It looks weird. Looks like
and it was all a dream. Woo. Lame. Okay, Teen Titans. Doesn't seem to come out every month. It comes out every 2 months now, it seems. I bought the horror cover. It actually isn't a bad cover. I like the armor skeleton.
We can't even see it, though.
Is it weird that
That's why you're the camera person. You're supposed to go, hey, bring it closer.
And I do, but then every time you put it right back to where it was before. I should just do this.
You should just do that.
Every time I hear Teen Titans, I keep thinking of the
Artwork's
kind of
okay, but you get bored. You read this, you're starting to get bored. I'm getting bored, and it's not a good thing to get bored. Okay, Batman Robin. Yes, I bought the Mummy cover because it is a cool, fun cover. It is a fun cover. I actually like the Bat armor. It's kind of fun. I like the fact you got the team together. But once again, you know, this is not correlating with the other titles. So it's kind of like leaving me kind of going, well, I'm reading this. Is it really going to have any effect? This, you know, you kind of like start going, am I doubting myself for buying these books because I'm not getting the satisfaction I did, for example, 10 years ago. Or even 6 years ago, I was happier reading comic books. They were more consistent. Okay, alright, the next one. This is DC's best cover of the week. It's The Infinite Crisis. Yes, the multiverse. Story-wise, it's kind of all over the place. I mean, it's basically DC kind of doing what Marvel's doing with all the varying Earths and different stuff. And it's kind of fun to look at the characters, but as a story, she just said it.
Sorry, I'm tired.
Now, on the other hand, Vertigo, good storytelling, which I've always enjoyed. You know, the fact that this will be ending soon kind of bothers me. I think there's 5 more issues to go. Fables. You know, I mean, I must admit, I'm going to be a bit of a spoiler. I don't normally talk about the stories about books too much, but one of the characters I've always liked was Bigby. What they were doing to Bigby is kind of like, you know, I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but I hope they save Bigby. That's all I'm going to say. And that's it for the DCs. Now, we're going to talk about the alternates. Yes, the dog's whining. Camera person, go walk away. Goes to the dog.
I'll go watch the camera.
Okay? I remind you, unscripted, you pay nothing for it except with your time. And just think, I buy these comic books. That's a lot of money I spend to talk to you about them. So when I'm telling you I'm being honest, I'm being honest. I mean, some books I recommend, some books I still hope for, and some books I'm telling you, you know, if you like the character, that's fine. I'm getting tired of some of these books. But getting back to my point about the alternates, they're doing the smart thing. They're not doing marketing as much as Marvel are doing. They're not doing the insane continuity. They're putting out books. You can read the book and just go on from there. Even Valiant with their Unity. Okay? You can just read Unity and not have to buy all the crossovers. That's kind of enjoyable. Artwork, consistent. I mean, this is consistent, good artwork. And guess what? I might not think the stories are great all the time, but the Valiant books, apart from one, I'm buying them. Why? Because they're doing that. They're giving me the consistent artwork. They're giving me the consistent stories. Not like that. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe I should accept the fact that things are going to be freaking willy-nilly all the time. But I think more people are like me. I think more people want consistent art, consistent storytelling, and less of the, oh, let's try to get our sales up by 2% this week. Call it old school thinking. Do good stories, good artwork, and you'll have good product sales. Just saying. Alright, artwork wasn't that great in this one, but once again, Twilight Zone, 48 special, it's a one-shot, dynamite. Artwork's plain, simple, not too great, but the story is what sells the book. And you think, I mean, I spent how much money on this book again?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit more expensive than most, you know. But basically, it was worth it because I enjoyed reading it. It's not the point of comic books. It's not to buy them, put them on a shelf, and go, look, I got that number 4 or that number 1. It's to enjoy the books. I enjoyed this one.
It's like you don't buy a book you don't like.
Exactly. But, you know, Marvel and DC, the way they seem to treat us is like, oh, buy this, it's a number 1, it's a fancy cover, and this and that. And to make my point about covers, Judge Dredd series I'm enjoying. They had 2 covers. They had the regular cover and the subscription cover. I actually bought the regular cover. I thought it was better. And it's just Judge Dredd, and you're hearing the dog making noise, but whatever. Okay, it's just Judge Dredd having a fun, simple story. You know what you're going to get. They don't have to revamp Judge Dredd. They just put it out, and people are going to buy it. It's enjoyable. Same thing for this one. Cy Anderson, Judge Anderson, Cy Division. I got 1 and 2. Now, I think I might have already bought these. I might be mistaken. Either way, I read them again tonight, and I enjoyed them. It was a fun read. Simple, enjoyable comic book. And you can take something old and bring it back, but be consistent with it. Magnus, Robot Fighter. Artwork's just okay. Story is just okay, but it's a character I like, and they're not taking the character and doing stuff to him that, just to make sales. They could have brought Magnus back and made him a girl with a big afro and make her a lesbian.
That sounds pretty cool.
It sounds pretty cool, but I wouldn't call it Magnus. Make a new character. No. They brought Magnus, the Magnus that people know. And that's kind of my point about DC and Marvel. They're at a point now, it's like, well, let's revamp, let's redo, but they start losing the whole origin, the core of the original characters. I have no problem with Sam Falcon being a new Captain America, because I know it's only going to last for about a year. Would you do that to Batman? Would you make Batman a African American? Probably not. And I know friends who are African American, they're thinking the same thing. Would you take Luke Cage and make him a white dude? Definitely not. It's not the same thing. So I kind of wish that Marvel and DC, instead of trying to revamp stuff all the time and rechange things to be politically correct, you want to be politically correct? Create new characters. New storylines. Give us quality, not marketing crap. I was going to say something else, but you caught me. Now, on the other hand, here's another book from Image. I'm surprised more people do not buy this book. Leroy recommends it. I recommend it. Mine's Templar. Here you have consistent storytelling, consistent art. I mean, this stuff is really good. It's standalone book. You can read this stuff and just enjoy it. And then this year, they even brought back another character. They brought back in the Hammer of the Gods as a backup feature. I mean, this is the kind of comic book I can give to the Q1 and go, here, read this. You'll enjoy it. I can give this, for example.
Oh, nice. Of course I'll read it.
I can give this to someone who's like 48 and go, read this, and they'll enjoy it. This is what comic books should be. Something you can give to someone and they'll read it and go, wow, that was surprisingly good. Mine's Templars. And look who it's from. It's from Image. What a shock. And if you want something even more intelligent, you can go for something like Warren Ellis and John Howard's Trees. Guess what company? Image. I mean, we actually mentioned Image tonight because at the comic books where we're waiting, we were talking about DC and Marvel and stuff. We even talked about the old Image. One of the guys asked us, well, what about any old Image stuff? We both kind of went, me and Aaron and a few other people went, well, there's only really 2 books from the old Image, and that was Max and Pitt. The rest of the Image stuff was superhero crap. Image got smart. They're doing intelligent stories, good artwork that works. No gimmicks. You don't need gimmicks to sell a book. So I got 2 books left. This is the best alternate cover of the week. It's Supreme Blue Rose. I'm sorry, my throat's going. Good storyline. Allison's been reading it. It's a really cool cover. The inside artwork, it's not exactly to my taste. I'm not always crazy about this artwork, but there's some panels in here that are great. But the important thing about this is it's consistent and the story is intriguing. You read it and you're like, I want to know what's happening next issue. So, Supreme Blue Rose. And my last comic book is the best comic book of the week. We talked about this in the store tonight when I was waiting. It's one of those comic books when it first came out. A lot of people missed it. It was an awkward size. Well, if you can track him down. I'm talking about Enormous. It's a really cool cover. Artwork inside is stunning. It's painted. It's gorgeous. It's consistent. I mean, the story's a bit silly. It's about, people having to fight these giant monsters and stuff, but come on, Walking Dead's not too intelligent either. Recommend that book. So that's it for this week for the comic books. Thanks for letting me rant. I know a lot of you out there agree with me. I was even talking to somebody I was at my head office today. This is going back off topic. I was at my head office today. Big head office meetings for the company I work for. And one of the guys, hey Jay, shout out to you because you might be watching the show for the first time. He's a Marvel guy, and when he actually uses like superhero names when he's trying to do a presentation, which is kind of cool. But even we were talking, he was actually saying I should start marketing myself. I should start doing what DC and Marvel does by making like cool comic book review TV show T-shirts and stuff like that.
We could make T-shirts, but it'd take a lot of time.
Who'd want to buy them? Really? I mean, I still thank Shane for that Madness Sing T-shirt. I work for BBC. I still wear it. I love it. It's a great shirt. But I kind of went to this guy. What's kind of against the point of what I do. He said I should get a sponsor. And I went, well, we don't want a sponsor for comic books because we don't want to have to lie to you. We don't like a book. We're going to tell you we don't like it. And a lot of people don't want that. So we're an honest show. And he goes, well, get somebody else to sponsor you. Get some other product. Well, you think Coke's going to sponsor me? I do drink Coke. You think they're going to sponsor me? No.
Audible.com might, because they're like, about books. I know comic books, like books, they're like literally people reading you books, and you just listen to it.
That was totally off topic, but
You were talking about sponsors. And
well, I'm just saying. He was trying to make a point that I should try selling ourselves more. So I'm asking you guys. This is the thing: is would you guys want to buy a Leroy T-shirt or a Madness Inc. T-shirt? You know, we can put Madness Inc. crew on it. Would you guys want that kind of stuff? Let me know.
In the comments below.
Something like that, yeah, exactly. Make in the comments below, or you know what? You guys know where to find me on Facebook. You can send. As you know, this goes up on a few different places, but you know this is mostly found on RX Comic Books group page. Make the comments there. You guys can contact me at Mad Montrealman on Facebook, and for our Tumblr fans out there, you can definitely make comments. Message me, because as you know, we're on Tumblr now. Cool, because Tumblr, you know, I find it kind of another format for the show. So I'm really tired. I have about another hour to just. Oddly enough, it may sound crazy, but it takes about an hour to edit and upload this to the YouTube. So we'll see you guys next week. Shane, good morning. I saw the picture of you today. It looks good. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, we're still waiting for a theme for our season 5, so we're still in that mid-season. So
but we do have new music.
Okay. I will say something. The cute Montreal girl is going to be a music producer genius. She came up with a theme music for the cool comic book review show, which hopefully you'll get next week with new graphics. So yay! So look forward to seeing that. On that note, my throat is really gone. I'm about to have a coughing fit and pass out. So good night.